What's up guys, Rhino here and welcome to my latest FIFA 19 video. This video guys is actually going to be related to the current Halloween event that EA have got going on, and it's actually going to be an SBC for the BASTIAN SCHWEINSTEIGER that they released fairly recently. So obviously we've had like the whole actual like Scream squad, the Scream team as it is. They have released Schweinsteiger as a player you can get via SBC. Whether or not they're going to be more of these in the future, I'm not sure. I would imagine there probably will be, as this one has got 8 days remaining, so you know they're going to have this one out for the entire event. You'd think they might have a couple more than just him. He's not the most impressive card that there is. I mean, you know, there's plenty of better players than him in the actual Scream team, but nonetheless, he's somebody who kind of interests me to complete. His card isn't that bad, if like for a Scream card. I mean, it's not a card obviously that you would buy just willy-nilly for your team off the market, but it's an interesting one though guys, because I've seen a lot of people who don't really think that he's worth it, because he's so slow basically. But the way that the Scream cards work in that they always have 2 random stats that are boosted to exactly 90. You know, right now, we'll just go back and have a look at his card quickly. Right now he's got 37 pace and they boost his dribbling and his passing, but on his base card, his dribbling and passing are around about the kind of like the late 70s, early 80 kind of mark. So if on the occasion when his pace gets boosted to 90, you're going to have a card there that's going to have 90 pace and then like late 70s, early 80s on every other stat. I mean, that's an incredibly well-rounded player. And from what I've experienced and how much this particular squad right here cost me, this cost you like 15k. I mean, 15k for a player who's going to have extremely well-rounded stats, be a great kind of like box-to-box midfielder, a good super sub as well. Like, don't get me wrong, I wouldn't imagine that I'd play him from the start, but just a player that you can have to make an impact off the bench. He's got like really good long shots. Remember, I actually really enjoyed his FUT birthday card, I think it was, on FIFA 18. He was really good. So certainly a card that I want to get done. And to be honest, I'd probably recommend for you guys to get it done. Obviously, like I've just said about how he's a good super sub when his pace does get boosted. There is the other factor as well, that probably later on in the year, that like a couple months down the line, there will be like loads of these SBCs that will require different card items from various events that have happened like in the previous events in the year. And one of them will probably be Scream cards. And now a lot of you guys might not, you might not kind of look at it and think that you want to buy it or like invest in any of these Scream cards, and there's no kind of like SBC at the moment which gets you a guaranteed Scream card, anything like that. If you want to pick up the Schweinsteiger for like 15k, maybe even less, you might have a few more of the players, you might have a couple players in your club already that you can throw into this squad. You know, 15k or less for a player like that gets you a Scream card which you've got available in the future if you do want to submit it into another SBC to get something that's even better. It just seems like a no-brainer. Like 15k is not a lot, but anyway guys, I'll show you the squad that I've got, obviously you can see it there. You need at least 3 German players and at least 3 MLS players, obviously going with the theme of Schweinsteiger. You're only allowed a maximum of 3 players from the same nation, which does make it a little bit trickier in terms of chemistry, but you do need 80 chemistry, so not too difficult to get hold of that. Obviously, the only kind of downside is you need an 83 rated squad. I think that's what kind of put a lot of people off at the start and made them think they might be quite expensive, but it really isn't, guys. It's really quite easy to complete. So the way I actually went about it, I think I had a couple of these players in my club. Yeah, this guy Martinez, untradeable actually in my club. I had David Villa in my club as well, who's untradeable. And also Thomas Partey is also an untradeable player in my club. So they're the 3 players I didn't buy. And then I just built around it. So because of the formation, obviously I couldn't have Villa and Martinez up front, but I ended up just shunting Villa out on the right because you get that little bit of leeway with the chemistry. I bought this guy called Almiron for 700 coins to go in cam, just to get that link with Martinez. And then it's just a case of trying to get the cheapest, highest rated cards into the other positions where you can that have some sort of link. So because I had Thomas Partey, he's like quite a cheap player anyway on the market, so didn't mind putting him in. I then ended up putting actually Jimenez and Savic in. Now, obviously you can see actually in both my fullback slots I don't have fullbacks, but that's because a lot of fullbacks are quite low rated, and all the ones that are a little bit high rated tend to be quite expensive because they tend to be quite quick. A lot of the modern day fullbacks are high rated, are quite pacey. Probably like one of the only exceptions maybe being like Joshua Kimmich, but you know, I'm not going to spend on like an 85 rated player. That's just not worth it for this. So I put a centre back out there, and Bender, who is a right back, he's only 82 rated, so that's one of the players who is actually a little bit lower than the overall rating. But obviously because I've got a few 84s in there, it doesn't matter too much. So Savic in there, who cost 1,100 coins, and Jimenez, who was 3,200 coins. One of the more expensive players, but he is one of the 84s, so that's kind of understandable. And then on the other side, actually just like a little bit of a Bundesliga kind of thing going on here. We got Serge Gnabry, who was 1,500 coins and 82 rated. Javi Martinez, who was 3,700 coins, possibly the most expensive actually. He's an 84 though, so not too bad. Bender, obviously, we put him at left back, 1,200, and Jonathan Tart, 3,000 coins. The goalkeeper is Hradecki, who's an 84, only 1,700 coins for an 84 rated. That's another thing to point out, guys. In like SBCs and these squads where you need a certain rating, like 83, 82, something that's like a little bit higher, where you're going to need to put in some slightly more high rated players that could potentially be expensive, always get a goalkeeper. Always get a goalkeeper, guys, that's high, because the goalkeepers are always the players that are the cheapest, because there's so many highly rated goalkeepers out there, and there's so many goalkeepers where like the rating doesn't really matter. Like, how many times you use like an 87, 88 rated goalkeeper and you're just like, well, you're shit, you do nothing for me, like I want to get somebody else, and you end up buying a goalkeeper who maybe like is a couple ratings lower but actually performs better on the pitch. And this is why there's so many goalkeepers like this who, you know, they're so useful for these SBCs, but they have low value because they're not really that good to use. So Hradecki has, you know, very, very low value on the transfer market, but he's of high value to us right now for this SBC. So that's the squad, guys. Obviously I showed the prices there. I added it up. I think it's like 14.7k, something like that. Pretty easy to get a hold of. Look, I mean, I've only got, what is it, like 384 rated players. I've got Hradecki, Jimenez, and Javi Martinez. 384 rated players. Don't really cost too much. I've got 2 83s in Jonathan Tart and Stefan Savic, and the rest of it is like, you know, you got 3 82s, 180 and 181, and you're still getting an 83 rated squad. I mean, you just can't go wrong with it. And then I'll submit it, guys, and you see the player that we're getting hold of. We got this BASTIAN SCHWEINSTEIGER, who might actually walk out. I don't know if he does anything like that. I'm hoping it does. Right now, obviously, he's got 90 pace, 90 dribbling. That will change at some point in the future. I have no idea when. Nobody knows when. We don't know. We haven't been told when these cards are going to change and update. But I'll just be waiting for the time when his pace goes up. I won't use him right now, but when his pace does go up, he's going to be very, very valuable to us as a super sub. Maybe for like extra time in like foot champs or things like that. But very, very solid card right there. Have a look at like his in-game stats, possibly, yeah, like the stamina is obviously only 68, so that could let him down. But if he gets a, you know, if the boosts that he gets are on pace and physical, even better. You know, that's even better. You're gonna have a player that can buzz about the pitch, has really good technical stats, because obviously no matter what, you know, no matter how like old a player gets, you don't lose your technical ability, do you? And he's still gonna have the stamina. So if he gets like pace and then like shooting, passing, dribbling, something like that as boosted, and he still has 68 stamina, then maybe he's just a player for like extra time. Maybe he's not gonna play much more than like half an hour in a game. But if he gets a physical boost, you can look at playing him for maybe like an hour, maybe 30 minutes towards the end of a Foot Champs game, and then for the extra time as well. So very, very useful player, guys. Has 3-star weak foot, which isn't like amazing, but you know, it's, I can't imagine it's going to be like shoots is too much except for long shots, and a lot of time with a long shot you get the time to kind of like shift it onto the correct foot. It's not like you're like a one-on-one opportunity where you kind of just got to take it on as and where it is. Medium work rates aren't too bad. He is 6 foot as well, which is pretty useful in midfield. Good bit of height to win some of the aerial duels. But we're going to throw him into the club. And that's it for that video, guys. So yeah, like I said, I'd probably recommend doing him. Hopefully there's some more of these SBCs going to be coming like in the next couple of days. I don't know if there's any plans or if EA ever said that there was plans for this, but something that we can possibly look forward to. I'm hoping they do release something, just because it would be nice to have these players in the club just as options for like maybe SBCs in a few months' time, or as players to use for FUT champs. But hopefully that was quite useful for you guys. Hopefully that's just giving you an idea of the sort of team that you can put in. That you don't need to spend too much money on that SBC, and you don't need to put too many highly rated players in. So if you did find that video useful, guys, if you did enjoy it, then feel free to leave a like on it. Obviously comment to let me know any of your opinions on it, or if you do know that there's going to be any of these kind of SBCs coming up in the future and the rest of this event. Obviously it's still got a week to go. If you want to see more of my FUT 19 content and any more videos like this of the SBCs, then obviously subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. But that is it from me, guys. Hope you enjoy the rest of your day, and I will see you in the next one.